Good afternoon and welcome to the Customer Zero webinar, where we are going to show you behind the curtains on how Sprout Social, how we're using our technology to drive innovation for our customers and to drive efficiency within our teams. We have quite a star-studded lineup for you this afternoon. We brought experts today that you're going to be learning a lot from how Sprout is using its own technology to achieve successful social media strategies. With that, I'll start introducing myself. Vladlina Milichenko. I lead our enterprise business at Sprout Social. And my favorite part about my job is to be speaking to customers like yourself every single day and learning about the role that social plays within your business. So really excited today to share a lot of the stories that we've learned from you. With me, I have Leila Rivas, who is our VP of Social, and she is award-winning digital and market media as expert. She's worked in her 20 years with Fortune 500 brands like Samsung, Oracle, and Visa. She has won a lot of awards. She's won Gold Lion Award and Telio Awards through her innovation into the digital space. We also have Rachel Goulet, who has been at Sprout for nearly 9 years. But prior to that, she has been a Sprout customer since 2011. Rachel is truly every content that you're seeing on our social media posts, on our employee advocacy, that is Rachel behind the scenes working on creating that. So she has worked through her career on social campaigns for large entertainment companies, politicians, finance, B2B and B2C customers. And she will show you how her and her team are leveraging Sprout Social anywhere from employee advocacy, influencer marketing, reporting, and analytics. And last, but certainly not least, we have Taylor Hamalian, who is our lead solutions engineer at Sprout Social. Taylor has spent her entire career connecting technology to business strategy. So today, she's actually going to show you the platform and how that behind the scenes really looks like. I hope you're as excited as we are for this presentation today.
I would like to introduce myself. I'm Leila Rivas, Vice President of Brand and Social, and I'll be doing a quick review of AI, both its potential and gains realized as we look at the evolution of generative AI in business. You're going to get a sense of the advantages of AI for everything from social media publishing, planning, and content creation to insights development and operations before I tee it up for Rachel to show us how our own social team uses AI with Sprout. All right, so how did we get here? Generative AI has really stunned and excited the world with its potential for reshaping how knowledge work gets done in industries and businesses across the entire economy, across functions such as sales and marketing, customer operations, and software development. It's really poised to transform roles and boost performance. I wanted to kind of show you here what that looks like in terms of how AI adoption has surged after years of what felt like little meaningful change. In the last year, you'll see that there's been a massive overtake of generative AI. And if you look over the past 6 years, around 50% of organizations have reported adopting AI. However, this year's survey shows a significant increase with adoption rising to 72%. Notably, interest in AI also expands across the globe. It's not just in the US. We can talk about the early days of AI in social media and how things have changed, because I actually spoke about AI in social media in 2019 when I worked at Oracle. And it was considered cutting edge and only really referenced among very tech-centric audiences, but it was already being used by Facebook. And here are just some of the ways it was being used across the different channels. Facebook was using neural networks, learning to tag image recognition and to make it easier to find friends. Most of those on Facebook actually would be surprised to learn that AI influenced much of what they did even back then. Twitter also used neural networks to crop photos to maximize their aesthetic output. So to do this, machine learning would study eye tracking And eye tracking then recorded what areas people looked at first in a photo or picture, meaning AI could understand which part of a photograph was most appealing. LinkedIn also used AI to suggest profile bio suggestions and assist members to better improve their profiles and help them really fine-tune their work experiences based on industry suggestions. So although more meaningful change came about more recently with generative AI as we know it today, in really the last year and a half, AI and its presence in social media has actually been around for several years. Instagram also uses machine learning algorithms to detect and remove mean comments and posts. So a little history of the early days there. All right. So, if you look at this slide, real key takeaways here, in many industries, organizations are about equally as likely to be investing more than 5% of their digital budgets in Gen AI. The tech industry, as you can see, is leading here, significantly increasing investments in both generative AI and analytical AI. In most industries, larger shares of respondents said that their organizations spend about, on average, 20% on analytical AI than on Gen AI. The key industries there being healthcare and retail. So, where are those investments really paying off? Let's have a look. All right. As expected, analytical AI most often aids service operations through cost reductions. So think AI assistance in customer support. And it also helps aid revenue and revenue increases in marketing and sales. And some examples of this include enhancing customer touch points through increased personalization, pricing optimization, and then, of course, content and campaign analysis to identify new market opportunities and forecast impact. The real question is, too, how do consumers feel about it? While consumers are still largely split on how they feel about brands posting AI-generated content, most actually agree that AI is welcome when it comes to customer care. And that's at about 73.5% of users saying they strongly or somewhat agree that they're comfortable with brands using AI to deliver faster customer service on social. And of course, this bodes well for us in the realm of care, as Enhanced by AI Assist allows teams to minimize their manual efforts. It speeds up responses to customer messages and care tickets with AI-powered tone and length edits. We have message intent, which also allows customers to route incoming messages to the right teams with automatically determined message classifications with things like sentiment, needs response, or categories like customer support if something is high brand risk, or customer love. So that's just a few ways. We wanted to talk about, in 2024, how marketers plan on using AI for support. If we look at right now, we know that marketers plan on using AI to support the following areas you see on the screen displayed. And our team at Sprout, which Rachel will get into, is how we leverage Analyze by AI Assist to drive strategy with analyst-level insights and performance takeaways across reporting, Suggestions by AI Assist, which creates high-quality captions in seconds with AI-suggested copy and tone edits. I love this one myself. Enhanced by AI Assist, which minimizes the manual efforts and really speeds up responses to those customer messages I mentioned earlier in care tickets. And then optimal send times, and this is great as well. No guessing, you can identify the best send times for posting content on a specific day and time to optimize your post engagement. So have no fear, though. AI isn't coming to replace you. And this is a quote from our CMO. But if you do want to be the most skilled and well-equipped marketer in your field, you do need to stay ahead of the curve with a strong command of how to use AI within your function. And that's really the AI-powered culture we're building at Sprout. We want our team to have the AI skills and confidence to augment our capabilities, to augment our strategy and planning, save us time, operate efficiently. At Sprout, we really are committed to leveraging the best technology available to streamline processes and deliver results. The amount of time a lot of things used to take in the past has been cut down substantially, and you'll hear about this from Rachel as well. And, because after all, as social media executives and practitioners, we have a lot on our plates, the production schedules, the daily posting. On my team at Sprout, because we're not only managing our own social media channels and creating content, we're also selling a solution to make it easier, better, and faster for others. So that really makes us customer zero. So without further ado, Rachel will get into a behind the scenes look at how we're leveraging all the latest innovations to make our jobs easier and deliver insights and value to make your jobs easier as well. Take it away, Rachel.
Thank you, Layla. I love customer zero, and being customer zero is very special to me. So hi everyone. In terms of customer zero, one of the most common statements I get is, wow, you do social for a social media company, or you do social for Sprout. Like, what is that like? I get the joke. That's very meta quite often. And another question I get, even internally, is, how is your social team actually using AI at Sprout to optimize your workflows, to improve results across the board? And I am lucky enough to have such an awesome team, and I have an answer for that. So here you'll meet my team member, Olivia. She manages our social media insights. So everything from analytics to checking out ROI to sharing insights with Layla, with Scott, with our board. And so for our team, AI Assist has really been like our trend radar. It gives us instant clarity on what's buzzing without sifting through endless data. I mean, we still sift, but the amount that we have to sift through is so much less. So each week, AI Assist summaries help us catch trends, help us make red flags in record times, and it makes those aha moments in social so much faster. It's a game changer for us in terms of spotting sentiment shifts. Whenever there's an engagement surge or a trend spike, we're able to just click in, get a summary of that, and share that really quickly. And we know that our audience is really interested in exec comms right now, for example. This is something we just saw recently in a trend spike. So because we know that with AI-derived insights, we can also create content that, maybe shows our customers how to leverage our product like EA and Sprout to do exec comms. So that's just one example of how we're leveraging those insights really regularly and really often. And the coolest thing about this is sifting through data takes a lot of time. And time is money, and we know that, especially as we roll into 2025. And I will say 72 hours is the amount that our team has saved each quarter on reporting because of some of these enhancements. It's a huge chunk of time. And we've also, because of that, saved $16,000 annually on just reporting time in general. So that's been just a really great way our team's using our AI Assist within our data sets and insights to, optimize our workflows. The second way, and this is a huge one, and I don't know, how many practitioners we have on the call or how many social leaders, but both can attest. I'm sure you've heard of burnout, creative blocks, writing blocks, having to write hundreds of posts of copy, and how challenging that can be. And so when our team is feeling really creatively stuck, which can feel especially true when you're promoting multiple features or multiple products, campaigns, different brands, events, when you're writing copy for 8 to 12 networks or something. And last but not least, that employee advocacy copy where you have to give like multiple options. So that's where we're really using AI Assist. It's to help us freshen up that copywriting and to just give us a little boost. So a really good example of this is we do a quarterly launch event here at Sprout called Breaking Ground, where we talk about our product innovations, what's coming up next. We dive deeper into all parts of the product and new features. And as a social team, we have to promote that every quarter. So that's pre-promotion, during the event and after the event. And that's a lot of talking about breaking ground. That's a lot of talking about our product, but AI Assist really has our back on this. So we're just able to pop in a few ideas or links, and it gives us ready to roll captions. We can change up the tone. This is especially helpful also as we have a new team member jumping in, and we're able to kind of meld our brand voice and make sure our brand voice is on standby. And then last but not least, because it's definitely not least, and Layla talked about this as like the most hefty application and most accepted by consumers of AI, but it's customer care. So how are we using AI in customer care, but still staying authentic and being that expert that Scott mentioned? For us, AI isn't really just tech. It's part of our DNA. So as Layla mentioned, something like optimal send times, that's been a part of Sprout for almost as long as I can remember. Maybe not as long, and I'm really dating myself here, but it's always been why social media marketers use a tool like Sprout, is to not have to do the guessing game, to make things just a little bit easier, have smarter workflows so that you can free up time for that creative thinking, for learning more about AI and for that application. So AI Assist is how we do deliver faster, friendlier social care at scale. And I think scale is really important because when you're doing customer care really well, your customers will only come to you more often. They'll only consider that a more viable channel for care and trust your social channels as a solution. So for us, we started implementing enhancements like sentiments for messages and, getting AI up in our care. And I'll talk a little bit more about how, but when we started implementing this, we realized that the time we were saving annually on a customer care perspective was equal to about $132,000 a year. And that was incredibly significant as social customer care has long been something really challenging to invest in. We streamlined our message prioritization. So we made sure our response times are faster than ever, and we were constantly honing that approach. So real-time tracking revealed a lot of time-sensitive requests, so we were able to jump on those quickly. We also started using our reporting tools more robustly. So we had a ton of insight into agent activity and response rates that spotlighted exactly where we can improve. And so this is especially helpful as we work really closely with our overnight and our weekend teams, our support team members. And so we need to be able to communicate with those teams and current stakeholders on how do we improve as a team and not just like in silos or making suggestions across the team. Another way AI empowered our agents was by simplifying our inbox and allowing us to prioritize social inquiries so we can focus on what matters most to our team. This really comes down to automated filtering. So we had a tool now to help agents zero in on those high impact issues. And two, we have now, because of that data, robust data I mentioned, we have data-driven staffing. So this means we have insights to help us align agent schedules with social support demand peaks. I mentioned our overnight weekend teams. They are from all over, Singapore to Ireland. In fact, I think our APAC team is in Thailand right now, having their meetup. So I can say prior to these insights, understanding peak times and scheduling for all of that was a really big challenge. And lots of organizations deal with that time zone issue. So it's great to have some data to support our needs. And my final note here on what we did with AI Assist and customer care is we made sure our tagging was consistently on point. So we can capture the trends that our leadership actually cares about. Looking at you, Layla, and stay responsive to our customers' needs without adding yet another minuscule, not that it's minuscule to the grand scheme of things, but like any practitioner in here knows what I'm saying, like another tiny task. And did not want to add that to my team's plate. So, social can be death by a thousand cuts if you aren't careful. And AI really made it easier to simplify a lot of those. So one, We have around the clock tagging for real-time customer insights. We're always listening. And 2, we have quick personalized replies. So we have a library of saved replies that lets our agents respond faster without sacrificing that personal touch. It allows our teams across different time zones to share brand voice traits. And even when you've used those saved replies a bit, that's where AI Assist can help come in and help give those a little zhuzh too. So I'm gonna pass it over to Taylor to walk us through how all of this actually comes to life in our product.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel. And hey, everyone. So now we get to look at the power of AI within Sprout. So really excited to be able to show you all those pieces that Rachel just mentioned and how they come to life within Sprout. Everything from how our social team uses those AI features to, like Rachel mentioned, spark creativity, help manage the creation of content, streamline that customer care with automated tagging and those indicators of prioritization for focusing on the right messages at the right time. And most importantly, how the team and you all can utilize AI within the social insights to make decisions and have strategic guidance without spending excessive time digging through the data on your own. So let's get into Sprout and into the demo. So we'll actually use Rachel's example of breaking ground as kind of our story for the background of what we're going to look like at today. So like Rachel mentioned, and for those of you who might be unfamiliar with Breaking Ground, it's our quarterly webinar where we talk about our latest product innovation. So like Rachel mentioned, using a lot of those insights from previous quarters to inform decisions and work that they're going to do for the upcoming Breaking Ground. And that really all starts from a reporting perspective. So utilizing a custom report here in Sprout, the team is able to look at, as they're creating decisions for kind of the upcoming quarter, look at insights from how we performed previously. These are custom reports really honing in on the analytics that are important for the team to focus on. In this case, understanding how our post summary went from previous Breaking Ground, pulling out some highlights there, and also being able to use that AI Assist to start to pull out some great insights that the team can use from the previous quarter. So here, understanding where our engagement rate was high, which was on TikTok in this example. Instagram had some of the most engagement and the most focus. So maybe that's somewhere that the team should focus on this quarter as they start to build their new content for the upcoming Breaking Ground. These reports will also combine other pieces of data. So with that tagging that we'll see, and like Rachel mentioned, being able to pull out those specific insights, whether that's from the content that's been being published or from the incoming messages that we're receiving. And also, what is the overall sentiment and insights from everything that we're getting as part of our last campaign. So being able to, on a quarterly basis, really make adjustments based on those insights that we've learned and been able to pull out from last quarter, as well as combining in even some social listening data here. So this allows us to listen to Sprout Social on the web outside of the direct messages that the team is getting and managing from a customer care perspective, but actually be able to pull out within the wider conversation about Sprout Social on the internet. How often are people bringing up Breaking Ground or AI or any other topics, and use those insights alongside our own data? So really providing that full picture for the team as they start to do more strategic planning and understanding where to make adjustments and having all of that background information as they do that. And all of these pieces, again, have that AI analysis available to us to be able to dive deeper, get these insights faster, and reuse these reports time and time again, especially like we know most of you are doing some extent of recurring reports, whether that's on a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, a yearly basis. So really being able to pull out those trends and understand those insights when you need them. And this, of course, is going to inform us to start again from the beginning and start from that publishing aspect. So here we have our campaign for our upcoming Breaking Ground. We can use all of those great insights that we just found out from our previous reporting and analysis that we're doing This is going to give us a great overview of anything we've already scheduled, what our top performing posts are that have already gone out on here. And we can also go ahead and view now specifically anything tagged with breaking ground on our calendar, see where the team is working on, what they've been planning on, and where we might want to start adding more content. As well as Rachel described, which we'll look at from an individual post, but even being able to use AI Assist on even a wider level here. So maybe we're starting to create a lot of content around AI, and the team wants to know, well, what are our top posts about AI that have performed really well in the past, and how can we use these insights to inform other content that we're going to create around AI? This is going to give me a couple of different options based on the performance of, again, our previous posts. So using past insights to make informed decisions on what the team should create next. And from here, I can go ahead and send this directly to create a post. We have a lot of functionality within here to help streamline this process. So we'll go ahead and look for the assets I've already added around breaking ground. We can streamline and add those directly to that post here. And this is where the AI starts to make your job easier from a content creation perspective. If I want to go and generate some alt text for these posts, we have our AI there to do that for us. So like Rachel mentioned, writing tons of captions and also writing alt text for a lot of these posts is very time consuming and definitely a big challenge there. So for something simple like this of creating some of that alt text, being able to quickly and easily utilize that, save that on my content, and be ready to go. And now we do already have a caption that we're happy with, but maybe I'm interested in seeing a couple of different options for this caption and playing around with it a little bit, or curating different captions depending on the network I'm focused on. Since right here we're posting across Facebook and Instagram, maybe I want to make this sound a little bit more friendly, a little bit more casual. So using the AI to optimize the content that the team is creating and not necessarily replace the work that you're doing, but be able to make you more efficient in that process and speed up the time that you're doing some of these repetitive pieces. Once I'm happy with that, I can go ahead and add that and curate my post. The last piece from an AI perspective, as we think about publishing content here, is actually going to help from a publishing perspective. So here we have AI from an Optimal Times side of things. This is actually looking at the profiles that I'm posting on these networks. And again, using our past data to help make strategic and informed decisions about what we should do next. Even without looking at the reports here, this is going to look at all the data of when your profiles are getting the best engagement and suggest time for when you should post this. So since I've chosen a Friday, it's going to give me a couple of different options here on when I would get the most engagement for posting this. So we'll go ahead and choose 9:36 here, since that has the most amount of stars. And it's really just taking a lot of that guesswork out of, even though you've looked at those reports and you've looked at the analysis, but now having those little pieces at your fingertips to make sure you're not missing anything throughout your process and just aiding you in every step of the way from analysis to publishing. Then I can go ahead and schedule that post, and it will be on my calendar along with everything else for breaking ground. Because I am also automating that process of tagging through that publishing, I can make sure that every time I'm publishing content related to breaking ground, it's tagged in the right way, so that later on, again, when we go back to our reporting after this quarter and dive in there, we can make sure that we're seeing all of the right data and all of the pieces that we want as we start to analyze this and make informed decisions for our next campaign. Now to the customer care side of things. Once you've published all this great content, you'll be able to centralize where you're responding to these messages and seeing that all come in one place. Again, like Rachel mentioned, this is great for being able to organize this and utilizing AI to not only prioritize this and help you understand where you need to focus on, where you want to prioritize things, but also to help speed up that response. So here you'll see I have my entire smart inbox, but I have created a specific inbox just for breaking ground to make sure that as the team is focused on promoting breaking ground, that we have those messages automatically being tagged and that I have a place to come and look at all of those. Here, the AI is also classifying from not only a sentiment of is this neutral, negative, or positive, but also some message intent here and some response classification. So not only is this a negative message, but is this a high brand risk message? Is this a negative message that maybe a response is recommended for? Or is this just, in the case of this message, it's negative, but maybe not the highest priority to respond to? So you can also have associated alerts along these things. So again, to Rachel's point of depending on the team members that are working and maybe who's in the inbox prioritizing things, making sure that they're notified when things are a high brand risk or very negative messages are coming in that we want to handle straight away. Once you dive into these messages, there's AI within here to really help you manage this process, both from a summarization perspective. In this case, this person is very eager about seeing Breaking Ground and has sent us a lot of DMs. So rather than have to read and maybe analyze this all by myself, even using Summarize by AI Assist here, this is helpful not only in this case for a single issue, but if this person has DM'd us a lot and has a history of having conversations with the team, the Summarize here will really give us a good background summary of who this person is, how often they're contacting us, and what they're talking about here. So in this case, Taylor is interested in attending Breaking Ground, but can't find a link, needs some more help, has given us a lot of backstory about who they are and why they're DMing us. And that's great information. And then from there, I can go here and I can type a reply, or we can also create, again, those saved replies here to help really speed up that process. So maybe there was an issue with the link. We've gotten a lot of DMs about it. So we've saved that as a potential reply to use. And I can go ahead and just search for that, insert that as a reply. We know from what Layla and Rachel mentioned that the personal touch is still really important. People want a really quick response time, but they don't want to sound like they're talking to a robot. They don't want to feel like that they're just getting kind of that automated response. And that's really where that Enhanced by AI Assist can come in. So I can make this a little bit more friendly, maybe make it longer. I can also go ahead and edit some of this on my own, but at least I didn't have to go search for that link somewhere else, find that, curate the message from scratch every time we're getting this question, and you have a baseline to start from. AI Assistant here is really, from a customer care perspective, like we've been talking about, all about being able to help you prioritize, understand what's important, get to those really quickly, and also respond effectively. And that, as we've seen and as Rachel talked about from a reporting perspective, will really help speed up that process and also possibly increase the amount of people coming to you on social. So help you then streamline that moving forward and create a really effective care strategy that doesn't overwhelm your team that's already focused on all of the other pieces that we've already looked at. And one of the last pieces here from an analysis perspective, even outside of the reporting, if we go into our whole inbox here, we now have AI analysis on just your inbox in general. This is great and really combines the best of both worlds from a reporting perspective, and also while you're within Sprout, working on your customer care, responding to people, but being able to use those real-time insights. So not waiting to potentially look at those quarterly or monthly reports, but really be able to action on things that are happening right now. This, as talking to Rachel and prepping with this for the team before, is a way that the team really uses to bring insights to provide feedback to places like our product team or the R&D team, and being able to capture what are some of those trends that we're seeing in conversation? What are these themes that are happening that are either really positive that the team needs to know about, or even potentially negative that we want to focus on? Is there something that people are asking for that we don't have? What does that trending sentiment look like? And in those reports, also being able to compare this then to the wider internet of listing data of everything that's happening across the web, across Reddit and other sources, is a good way to get the full picture of your brand. And in here, this is not only data that you can look at and kind of use, but also start to take some actionable insights here as well. So I can dive into this This trend that we're seeing here, kind of half negative, half positive, see what some of these messages are and even action on them directly from here. So many different ways that you can start to prioritize the inbox, both by breaking it down maybe by sentiment or different topics like breaking ground that we looked at, or being able to come in here and really use these real-time insights to start to dive into what you might want to respond to and feedback that you can also share further with other parts of the business and other teams that really value those insights that are coming from social, because we all know how impactful that is outside of even just the social and the marketing team, but how product teams and other areas of the business can really use that kind of information to make strategic decisions across your organization.
At the beginning of their presentation, we talked about the importance of driving technology into the business. So at Sprout Social, we want to show you behind the curtains, not just our technology, but some of the metrics that our team was able to accomplish. Through using the AI technology that you have just seen, our Sprout Social team, Rachel's and Layla's team, was able to save 72 hours a quarter for social reporting, right? That is 72 hours extra the team has to be dedicating to really meaningful and content creation activity. From a value perspective, they saved 132,000 on customer care. So everything that Taylor showed you from leveraging that AI assist in customer care, we kind of translated that into business value and equated to a significant amount. And also 16,000 value of time was spent on social reporting, right? Again, a resource that is now being handled by leveraging our AI tool. Awesome. And just key stats here to put everything in perspective. Taylor has showed a lot of the messages that are coming through Smart Inbox. In case you wondered, at Sprout, we've handled 36,000 messages last year alone. We don't have the data for 2020 for that, but Rachel, my gut tells me it is going to be even higher. And then we have a 37% increase in tag rate, which again is really crucial to that reporting structure. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us today for the webinar. Our hope is that you've learned new things today, and we were able to showcase how we are leveraging our own technology. We will be following up with an email of the recorded session that you can review or share with your colleagues. And in the meantime, if you have any questions from your account team, your customer care team, you want to do a deeper dive into the technology, please let your account team know. And we'll look forward to inviting you to the next events we'll be hosting. Thanks again, and have a fantastic rest of your day.